Good morning, good day, salutations and greetings. My name is Marge, Margie. Sometimes I go by Standing Turtle. Standing turtles don't run. I just like to have these little talks and the way I feel about things. And being a Hulk empath, man, I'm always receiving, feeling all kinds of stuff. My stuff, your stuff, dog stuff, mom stuff. We're all connected energetically. Heartstrings. And when you look at, when you see something that happens for somebody else, oh, yay for you, because you're happy. Yay. When you're sad for somebody, or you see, my biggest heart is when people lose a pet. I'm like, man, I know that. I know that. I know it all too well. I had one dog that passed away, and it shifted me. Now I got four. I got over it. Yeah, people think I got in over my head, but I look at it as a lifelong commitment. And they're only going to be around, if I'm lucky, they're all 10, 11. So they're all at the fall, winter seasons, and I just want to, make sure they have a whole good life. And yesterday, it was like, get rid of a couple of your dogs. Somebody just said it to me. Just get rid of a couple of your dogs. And I'm just like, but you get rid of your kids. Get rid of your kids. It fucking threw me for a loop, see. I'm going to take, before I start thinking about stuff that scares me, I'm going to take a moment and invite God into the room. I like to do that, into the talk. I'm going to invite God into the room. I could feel the heat, the energy. Mars is starting its direct descent right now. And so, energy is shifting so gnarly. Good stuff is happening. Good stuff is happening. It's just happening on the fringes. I was reading a real interesting article that Jesse Zabora the power freaks are, I was inviting God into the room. That's right. I like to invite God into the room, and so when people start with the talk, and if they're here in the beginning, that they maybe really recognize this is a safe place, and I don't promote the Luciferi tale here. I do talk about it. Well, I guess that is kind of promoting it because I talk about it. I don't endorse it ever because I'm a God-fearing being. Alright, I get it. I know, God. I get it. Your will, mine be done. I get it. I get it. I get it. It's been drilled upon me, impressed upon me, and it is in my energetic being to live as a person for everyone and not just me. Because I know the consequences of what happens when I live my life just for me and my glory and my satisfaction and what I want and my will and me. That is all egocentric behavior. Ego I like to look at as easing God out. And there's no spirit in that. A lot of people are waking up to childhood traumas, things that have happened in they're getting recall. I got my recall a long time ago, and so I've had the opportunity and to process my traumas and my hurts. Everybody has, and if people don't have them, you can tell the ones that really haven't had them or had them and lock them so tight that they don't remember that they happened at all. They just blocked out years of their lives. It's weird to me. People do it. I don't do it. People do it. It's weird to me. I don't like that better. Let's go with this today. That's better. But the thing of it is your memory, you can lock it, but your energy field and constellations and astrology and all that, it's gonna unlock it for you because you never dealt with those pains. I don't have a lot of pictures of me when I was a little girl. This is one I keep close by. Let's see if I can turn down that. That was a little Marge. What, I got a little smooch on my chin? A little smooch on my chin? That was a little Marge. By this time, I was probably 6 years old. That was a little blue dress, a little polyester blue dress I was in. By this time, I had already been seen more ugliness and harshness and of darkness of people by that age than a lot of people have seen in their whole lives. You know, the ones that got to be protected, you know, that they got to be put in a little glass house, a little bubble that everything's wonderful and everything's great. You know, but there's a lot of darkness in the world, and people ignored it for so long that God got lost in the shuffle, and now people are making God have a comeback right now. People are coming into their belief because it's just like, dude, this stuff is crazy. There has to be something that is in the design that things have to be okay. Because, I mean, I was just reading an article. I reposted it on Twitter. I'm on Twitter now. But I reposted from that Jesse's Boater just posted like a couple minutes ago. I always tune in right when our timing is impeccable. So let's see if I can find it now. Well, I have it over here. What is my Twitter name? Who am I? What's my? I'm Third Eye Activated. 3RD, or it's @3activated. @3activated. But it's Third Eye Activated. ACTIBATED. But I just reposted something that because the branches of government, there's corruption everywhere. It doesn't matter. There is no entity that doesn't have darkness in it. It's just, look at all, we're seeing all the entities that have allowed the darkness to prevail, and it's really hard to watch. It's hard to see. So now what they're doing, I wonder if I could share the link. Did I close the freaking window? No, here it is. I'm gonna share the link. I wonder if anybody's watching. Check this shit out. It's a bill that they just came up with. You know, you can't agree on giving more people cash to help them pay their bills and shit like that. But what they did, this Res 1154, condemning QAnon and rejecting the conspiracy theories it promotes. They're trying to freaking make it illegal, so if anybody talks about it, they're like, you're against the country. I read it. And a lot of this stuff that they talk about, I'm like, I mean, so people you can't, on the media, on the webs, you can't be using the words. You can't. You gotta make up, also you can't be using the words. Because they're gonna pick up your words, and then you ain't gonna be seen. You ain't gonna be heard. You ain't gonna be allowed. I ain't been allowed to be freaking me my whole entire life. People have been trying to control me and to get me to act a certain way. But when I acted that way, man, I was so unhappy, because it's not how the spirit is supposed to live. I'm a spirit having a human experience, and I'm surrounded by all these, you know, artificial intelligence, and I call those human beings that are so programmed by what they're told that they don't have any creative, original content of thought or character left in them. They're just doing what they're told, like puppets. You know, but they don't know about, they got free will. They got free will. And when people feel fearful like that, and then they want to put themselves in a little box where people can't get them. And then they want to start building walls around cities, and before you know, we have, you know, Escape from New York and, you know, Prison City. That's why I'm trying to get out in the country, man. I don't want to live in a city, man. Jerks freaking run cities, and I don't like jerks. I just am trying to be a freaking God-fearing person and go plant some vegetables, and, you know, maybe have a neighbor with some chickens. We could trade some stuff, and then, you know, create some stuff to make the world a better place, you know, because it's really getting kind of scary. I was thinking this morning when I was getting up and around, you know, how important it's going to be to have to live locally. Look at what the world got because people were living outside their means. That ain't local. Outside, you know, people are trying to always make money to get things and go places and do things. and now everybody got grounded. And so, and the astrology is making it so people are like, why are human beings? It's so funny. This is what I was thinking about this morning when I was letting the dogs out and getting ready for my day and stuff like that. It's like everything sheds. It's fall. So now the leaves are starting to shed. Everything sheds. Snake, they shed their. I don't particularly like reptiles and stuff like that, but that don't mean that I ain't never incarnated as a snake. I've been a snake. I've done snake things. You know, we've all done dastardly terrible, and even if we haven't done it in this incarnation, we got to make up for it in this incarnation by not acting in wickedness and evilness and just hindrance. That's all ego stuff. When people just get freaking literally their freaking rocks off from freaking hindering people. And it could be such to the extreme that freaking snuff films are freaking porn to people. It's weird, man. But it's funny because when I look at people, I see all the stuff that they haven't shedded. You can see people and what they carry and contain in them. You know, you can see where people have just, you know, they're so worried. I've known people that have gritted their teeth like, oh my God. You know, have all kinds of dental problems. That's stress because people think that they control their own lives. I got a nice smile because I turn myself over. I try to turn myself over. I know I've created wreckage. I know I've hurt people. And when I always justified it, I always justified it. I never just said I hurt people. And what I did before is I justified it. But what the thing happened is to be frank, I've never said this. This is the first time I've said this because it's not a fear I want to put out. But there is a possibility. I'm going to do whatever I can to keep it from happening. But see, when I was a little girl, I was born 6 pounds, 4 ounces. I was already born to a mother in a highly stressed state. Okay? So there's this thing called Addison's disease. It's one version, and another version in people that were born with moms that were drunks or addicts. It's fetal addiction. It's what happens is the little baby inside feels the mom's stress so much and just wants to make her feel better. And so the mom just draws on the nutrients and all the stuff of the baby. And so babies come out just bah, bah, just up here all the time, just wound up because we gave all of our stuff away to calm ourselves. We gave it away. And then when I was in the Air Force, they gave me all these shots for anthrax. And I've done other talks about it. Anthrax, making back sick, stuff like that. And it all attacks the freaking endocrine system. The electrical system. I know about electrical systems. I was an age mechanic in the Air Force. So what my concern is that some nerve damage can't be reversed. And I'm already starting to drop stuff. I'm already starting to lose my grasp on things. And that's why I'm so trying on it. So when I say I don't know if I'm going to live as long to be as old as my mom who's 69, it's not because of my sheer will. It's sometimes, things happen and you can't reverse the damage, Hopefully, this is the outcome I'm shooting for, because praise God, Jesus. Praise all of it, the goodness of the world. This is what I'm hoping for, is that when I get to a place where I can just be, finally, me, that hopefully my energy field and my energetic system will calm down and I'll get my grasp on things again. Is what I'm thinking. And I can find my friends and have people come over and, I'm very self-sufficient, but I'm not as strong as I used to be, and I'm not as tall as I used to be either. I used to be 5'3¾", and now I'm only 5'2". And most of the compression is in my spine, in my L 9, 10, and 11. And that's all in the last 4 years. It just went whoop. So I got like nerve pinching. I got, I won't have surgery. I won't. I'd rather stay agile and fit and be like, okay, this is my maximum pain. Because I already know what my maximum is. But you start going in, you start having surgeries, and they start cutting on you. I already had a surgery from my freaking ankle. They did a Brosser procedure. My scar alone looks. I'm like, dude, did he cut it with a butter knife? It's not even one straight incision. It's like 4 cuts. Like when I was 6 years, the 6th grade, you're dabbling in the gangs at Rother, you're gonna go rumble after getting a fight with kids out on the playground after school and stuff like that, and you were making blood brothers and stuff like that, and all this stuff comes from the heart space and brotherhood that is dank and dark, and see, when you grow up around this stuff, you know that it's all true, and then you have the people that use it and benefit from it that are trying to do this Congress stuff that are freaking criminal. I mean, there is no freedom of speech. You can't talk about nothing, man. So what happens is people are going to have to, come up with their own little languages and their own little commonalities, and then you're going to have to meet in local areas. And I'm not a person. I'm a person that's like, you come meet with me, it's more like a congregation. Then you have other people, you come meet with them, it's a bar where everybody's drinking and talking shit and end up fighting and stuff like that. And then you have other meeting places like politics, where they meet and they're like, well, we're gonna let these people act this way but not these people, and it's all based on the shade of their skin and the blood in their veins, but we're gonna say none of that's real. Oh, Benno, you comfy, bud? You comfy, bud? Look at this. I live for the comfort of my dogs. I wonder which two I should give up, if I were supposed to live that. I woke up to they always start with, like, I'm not trying to make things worse, and then boom, here are all the things that I'm doing to make things worse. It's just like, dude, it's the cognitive dissonance. People have always said, it's not like this, and then they set up the reality of that is exactly how it is. And it's so confusing. My critical thinking, it's like ad hominems everywhere. And I know who I am, so I really don't appreciate, and that's why I do my talks. It's like, why are you trying to find viable ways to freaking earn income and stuff? I'm like, well, maybe once if I hit 1,000, if I get 1,000, if people subscribe to me, if I get 1,000, I'll get more exposure and actually be able to, I won't ever monetize the channel. I won't. But I'm trying to freaking connect with people because I'm a photographer. I cook food. I am a mechanic. I can fix anything, and if I can't, I know people that can. I'm a networker. What else? I love art, so we can sit and do art. All this stuff. That I can do to teach people to freaking become centered with themselves, so they're less of the crazy that's out in the world. And I see people all over, and they're not shedding their shit, man. Look at all the people that aren't shedding their stuff. Look at obesity in itself is just people that are hanging on to feelings that they had years ago, because when you eat your feelings, you put on weight. And if you don't burn off those feelings, you're going to keep the feelings that you had when you ate the stuff to put on the weight. So release yourself of the burdens of your past. And I'm not saying everybody needs to freaking have six-pack, like the overextenders, the weird ones. Like all the people that use steroids and testosterone and supplements, and it's all natural. It's all natural, yeah, but you're killing people to get the freaking means to make yourself better. It's all, when people say it's all natural, it's just like, it's like the con in conservation. It's all bullshit, and people really have to start believing once you start if you start focusing on your chakras and do some chakra meditation and really get to know about your energy fields and what they represent and how they are connected to the planets in the sky, people just start with that. They're spending so much time looking at shit that's bad for them. Looking at the marauders, looking at, look, this guy's bad, he's a bad guy. Why don't we focus on the good ones, man? Stop giving them press. I want Pockets of the Future to watch one of my videos and critique me, you know, and do his little thing, how he's like, see it with, I want him to sick the giant pointer and be like, see how she loves her dog over here? Her dog, she loves her, she just lives for her mom and her dog, and she just wants a place to live, be, you know, she doesn't want to make $1 million, just see how she loves her dog with this giant pointer, with her lights back here, you know, she's trying to be a joyful person because she's had a shitty life. That's why I wanted to call, because Mom instilled in us at a very young age faith in God, Jesus, God, and I just walked away my whole life, and I was just like, oh, it's embarrassing. You don't promote and talk about things that aren't real. And then I grew up and lived my whole life, and then I was like, I think about all the shows, all the concerts, because I like music, and then I found out who the people are that are making the music, you know, but it doesn't take away my love for the music, because everybody has, everybody has so at least take the good, take them for what they're worth, the goodness, you know. I was listening to Divided We Fall this morning, and we were talking about Social D and how I saw him in Omaha, and I was like, okay, I saw Social D, I saw Tegan and Sarah, I saw Dolly Parton, I saw The Offspring, I saw Bad Religion, Tool. I don't like Tool. Tool to me is like the R. Kelly, the white man's R. Kelly. I don't like that guy. It just, bad juju. Let's see. What other shows did I see? Because Omaha is the biggest city in the Midwest, so it's all the people went there. And there's plenty of shows that I let pass on by. I didn't care. Never wanted to see Pink. I did see Bette Midler. Went with a couple people, but even now, you know, I see her for who she is. But it's just like, I got the T-shirt. I threw it away a couple last week, and that's like, well, it's the experience, you know. It's like going and but you know, because everybody got duped. Everybody got duped. We all got duped in some capacity. If it's not somebody that we're related to, it's somebody that, you know, in our environment. We all got duped, but we all believe in somebody so much that there's some kind of way. And then we've come out to find out that we're not. But what happens is, if you stop paying attention to everybody outside of you and you start really getting in your birth chart and really starting to get to know you, then through that you can decipher people's behavior. It is a freaking trip, man. But I know how people are going to act based on me. And the more that I'm like, okay, Marge, I'm going to be fearful, and I don't say something you're going to regret, you know, because I'm not one that just freaking throws shit out there, and I say I burn bridges, and then I don't realize later that, you know, this is a significant relationship, and all relationships are significant, you know, and sometimes, I mean, but they all have an expiration date too. It could be an incarnate and it could be an out, you know. So it's like, oh gosh, the dichotomy is just whizzing around right now. It's just whizzing around. So I just really encourage people to shed, you know, people really have to move energy right now. That's why there's so much hate, is because people are just sitting there and they're just have all this energy and they're just like thinking in their head. Everybody's in their head. So if you get out, walk around the block a few times, get some fresh air. I couldn't do that for days because there was so much smoke in the sky. And now it's all gone. I don't think there's any fires. I don't see any smoke anywhere. I can see Hood. I can see Mount Hood. I can see the one past, whatever that one is over out east. I can see him. You know, yesterday was a clear day for the first time, and I don't remember how long the last time I saw like no cloud. I honestly don't remember the last time I saw like no clouds. No, I think there was like still that shit that the chem bioengineering shit that they spray, you know. But it's like, man, everybody let themselves go. The whole world let itself go. I see military members and things like that, and even the officers, their uniforms are just a mess. they're all sloppy. A lot of them are overweight. You know, a lot of people don't have coping skills. Where are you going to learn coping skills in society today? Everything is take a pill or freaking, you know. And then people are realizing, though, did you see old Joe Namath? Old Joe. See, when I was a kid, that's when all the adults around me like playing football. So it's all I always heard Joe Namath. I can't tell you how many. You know, Mean Joe, all of them, all those early 70s, 80s. Because I remember baseball, freaking the announcers. And I was never into it, but I always tried to make the best of it because it was surrounded, you know. But so a freaking woman walked into his house, grabbed his grandbaby out of his. Okay, first of all, lock your doors. I mean, what world are you living in, brah? You know, worlds are colliding, man. Shadow is going into the light. Freaking straight and walked into her house and freaking tried to grab the grandbaby out of, you know. And that happened to me when I was a kid, only it was my own aunt. My mom was at the doctor. We were in a custody suit, okay? So don't tell me systems aren't compromised and people aren't paid off and HIPAA compliance just goes out the fucking window if there's a 50 spot to be earned, you know, back in the 80s, because my mom was at the doctor getting a checkup after I was like 2 years old. Walking around, you know, and my brother was 4. We were playing, and Mom was right on the other side of the curtain, but we weren't allowed to go back in. And then my aunt shows up, said, your mom called, said, we're supposed to, said that she was at the doctor, and come with us, let's go get some ice cream. Oh, okay, well, let me say goodbye to Mom. No, you'll see her later. Didn't see her for 7 months. My mom saw us on the back of my grandparents' car driving in the other street. See? You know? I mean, people, ask yourself, how many people in your life do you have that you trust? You know, that's why I always try to be a good aunt to my nieces, because I want to be everything that woman isn't. Because that, you know, and the times, just all the times that, like, you know, like I wouldn't get to say goodbye to Mom. Or my grandma'd let me sleep, you know, past my mom coming, and then I'd miss her. You know, just mean. People just get, and then everybody thought they were so wonderful and so great, and they were just mean to me. My grandpa, he played freaking strip poker with us when we were like fucking 4 or 6. That ain't weird, no. With kids. But he was drunk, so, you know, if they drank, you know, all you gotta do is, you put the booze in it, it's just, okay. You know, that's why I don't drink. Because it takes the spirit from me, and not that I would ever have the inclinations to do half, because I'm a trauma kid. So I went the other way. I didn't perpetuate the traumas and continue the behaviors to create more traumas in other people. No, I'm becoming a skittish freaking tender heart freaking vibratory, just, you know, I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want to be mean. Because I can. Because everybody's mean. But that is a defense mechanism. And if I'm using defense mechanisms, I'm not using the G defense, the God defense, the God defense. I'm not living in my faith. So, when you don't live in your faith, then things go astray. Whew. Oh, I love Soundgarden. I was listening to Sublime this morning. That's one show I never got to see. I had a chance to go see Sublime, and I stayed back in Reading. I could have seen them in Eureka back in like 93? 93? And I was like, no, I'm going to have Dita. I'm going to have the pretty girl. Maybe she'll like me if I act right. And then, you know, Bradley was dead like 7 months later because of his ego. I think, you know, sometimes I went down a little ant hole. I'll just go down a little imaginary, like, wonder what if, like, what, well, I wonder, you know, I wonder what all the music that would have been put out if Bradley wouldn't have overdosed, or if whatever happened wouldn't have happened in his life. You know, if he got to live to see Louis Dog, live to be an old dog, you know, all the music that Bradley didn't make. Well, so earlier I was talking about my mom. That's why I named the talk today. I named the talk give you a fish. She used to always say, I'll give you a fish and you can eat for today, but then I'll teach you to fish. And then there's stuff, and then there's, I wanted to catch bigger fish, and I wanted to go other places and catch a different kind of fish, and then she could only lead me up to that. So I found other teachers to teach me other things, and I went on to the Air Force, and I went to college, and my aptitude in school, I mean, I barely graduated high school 2.0. I was just one of those tested out. They just wrote me off as one of those dumb, retarded kids. And then later in the 90s, they started calling them OCD and ADHD and stuff like that, and it's just like, well, I got a reason for everything that I do, but people just look at your behaviors, it's just, and then they put you in the category, you got to answer for everything. Well, yeah, you don't, because I know about science and quantum physics and religion and all kinds of religions. I don't know everything about all of them, but I know a little bit about enough about all of them to recognize that they're all talking about the same shit in different words, based on the region and their frame of reference, And then, so I became overly self-sufficient. And then what I found out is that we aren't supposed to be too self-sufficient. We're supposed to take what we know and share it with other people, not keep it to ourselves. It's selfish to keep it to ourselves. So that's why I'm always trying. I got a lot of know-how. I helped, fixed a fence yesterday. The neighbor, because there's something else somebody did. Made it worse, because you don't put shit up, you don't lean shit up against a fence, people. You just don't do it. So, I'm just trying to help people. I got all kinds of ideas. Hey, anybody want to buy my idea? I don't think that's selling my soul, because I think it's given a business opportunity to buy my idea for a t-shirt, so maybe somebody else could make them and sell them and make some profit and just give me a cut every now and again. It's my Straight People Like Rainbows 2-1 idea. I got a few of them in there left. But I'm not good at the follow-through. I'm good at ideas. I'm not good at follow-through. And I know that it's not a character. It's in my astrology. It's a character defect. I know all about my character defects. When I get scared, I get angry, and I get mad, and then I retaliate in anger. And I don't want to act like that anymore. It makes you look old. It gives you age spots. Makes you look, a couple years, I'm going to be 50. I'm going to be 50 years old in 3 years. Benny got a dangly, he got a Benny B9, Margie. B9 like the bingo, Benny. When old dogs get fatty cells and tissues when they get stressed and stuff like that, because they feed off our stress. So I could try to reduce their stress at all. But he got a fatty. Did you see the little dangly on his arm? The doctor said it's B9. I said, be like bingo, Benny. B9, Benny. B9 like bingo, Benny. We used to go, one of the fundraisers that we did at the dog rescue where I got them from, the Beagle Basset Rescue of the Heartland in Omaha, Nebraska. Look at their Facebook page. You'll see pictures of them all, like years in memories and stuff, because I got them to, and they would have super, SOUP-ER, super bingo, and they'd have like potluck bingo, and I'd make lemon bars and people just bring all the food and good food, and then they'd have like, they called it doggy drool. It was like boozed up lemonade kind of thing, and we played bingo and raise money for the dogs, and in one night they'd raise like freaking $7,000-$8,000, in one night. So I've been a part of huge, and then you see it on the media. I mean, look at all the fun. Look at all the non-for-profits and all the fundraising and stuff like that. Maybe I can help start an organization. I thought about this because real estate's about to go into the shit. So if you got like multi-properties right now and you're trying to offload them, because it's a risky business, because it's like you want people to live in, there is rentals, but if you're trying to sell it, it ain't nothing to kick them out, right? you know, unless you have a lease and kind of stuff. But real estate, because I follow a lot of trends, a lot. I get a lot of notifications. That's why I turn my notifications off, and then I go and look at these places. And so I get a lot of Zillow notifications, real estate notifications, job notifications. I see like what turnover is happening in the area, and it's in the media with the everything is on the move right now. And so, and it's like these houses that are in California, like people are trying to leave California. Who are you kidding? You know, so. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to go back to Nebraska. Maybe I'll have to go back to Nebraska. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. That's the thing. But I can't. I just got a message from somebody, and I'm just trying to ignore it right now because I'm trying to be here. And that's what they do, is they try to distract you. It will make you fear. Just make you fear. Just be afraid. See, that's the thing, is you don't understand, because this is a person that hasn't been through, that has been able to block out it all and not remember any of it. And I remember it like it happened yesterday and stuff like that. And then so when scary stuff happens, it just takes you to a pile of scary. See, I didn't even know post-traumatic stress existed until I was almost 40 years old. I didn't even know. I just thought people are just too nervous about shit. They need to handle their emotions. But I was so distracted by just doing the program of me getting up the same time every day, going to a job and doing my IT stuff, and then occasionally having to deal with assholes and frequently having to take porn off their machines and cleaning up the bugs that come with getting the porn. That's what most of desktop support is getting freaking cleaning up the shit that the freaking the salesmen and all the VPs, you know, they're looking at. I'm like, dude, go buy your own. You guys make millions of dollars. Can you just go buy your own laptops and freaking, you know, not freaking gum up the keys on freaking property that you don't own? You know, but ego, people. Ego, when people live from ego. I listened to, what's his name? A rant, one of the rants that what's his face did. And I'm just like, man, egomaniacal. They just say whatever. Everybody's a whore. Everybody's a slut. It's just like demons. You don't talk to especially if a woman that you're supposed to love and care for and all that stuff. And then, because the thing of it is you're going to get over it and be mad about it. Or, you know, that's why, I mean, I don't say near the stuff that I think. If people freaking, you know, and all I am is commenting on their behaviors. Like, these are the behaviors that you do, as I see it. And then they're like, people become disheveled. So I learned a long time ago, you can't communicate with people when you just are telling them about themselves all the time. So I try not to tell people. What I do is like, I've been known to act like this. Under these circumstances, I've acted like this. Under these circumstances, how would you act? Instead of saying, you always act like this, and you're this, and you're... I'm like, dude, I know who I am. I know who I was 4 years ago. I know who I am now. I know who I am because I am painfully aware and self-aware of who I am and self-actualize as who I am. And I talk about it every day on YouTube. Yesterday, I did it 4 times because I had so much in my shit in my head, I was just trying to get it out because I didn't know what else to do with it. Because my old behaviors would just be like, go get it. Listen to the demons, Marge. Listen to the demons. Go get a bottle. Everything will be all right. And then freaking I, you know, pass, you know, whatever. Do whatever. That's why I don't drink anymore. Because I did all that shit and said all that shit when I was drinking. But, you know, in all the years that I was there for people and made friends and proved myself and what, you know, and it's just like I thought because of technology when I moved that we'd still stay in touch, and there's a lot of people that I try to stay in touch with that I just, you know, I just quit. I get tired of being the only one to say, hi, how are you today? How are you feeling? What's going on with you? Because people don't think about me. People don't think about me in their everyday lives. I'm not thought about, you know. I wonder what Marge is doing. Because if people thought, you know, but because I started my own channel and my own tube, because of that, Then I'm finding, and then I get communication through the day. I've talked to Carl, you know, because that's what I've always learned to do, is just reach out to other people and to get out of my own head, because my own head is a very dangerous place, because that is where I replay all the stuff about other people telling me what a piece of shit I am. See? Because if in my head I'm like, okay, Marge, maybe you should put mom in a home. Maybe you should get rid of all your dogs, and maybe you should just travel around the world and just, you know, see how many times you can get laid, because evidently that's a challenge that people have. And I'm like, dude, Marge, you ain't none of those things. That's the old program, and that's what society wants you to be, because that perpetuates their freaking energy harvesting and their evil doing. Let's see what my aspect of the day is. What is it? You may find yourself being put to good use by your friends. Or it could be that circumstances force you to reorganize and be more conservative. All of this should go rather smoothly. Your more taciturn qualities are to the fore and found to be valuable. See, I don't know what that word means. Taciturn. Taciturn? T-A-C-I turn. Reserved or uncommunicative in speech. Saying little. Sometimes I say little. Sometimes, years I say nothing, because I know people don't want to talk to me. I already know, because I'm all about feelings and emotions, and people that work so hard to stuff feelings and emotions, I'm just a mirror about feelings and emotions. I'm just a reminder of shit that they don't want to talk about. So, Heyoka ain't ever going to be mainstream, y'all. We ain't ever going to be mainstream. I ain't ever going to be huge. I ain't ever going to be big, because I'm not made to be. Because all of huge and big is easing God out. And people give me money, I live simply me. I could live off. I live off more than most. A lot of a lot of the percentage of the pop. But it's still not to get, and I can get by. And that's the thing. Is as soon as I move, I can still do what I'm doing and stay home and generate, and I can make my dog beds, and I can give people ideas. So I'll sell my T-shirt, my Straight People Like Rainbows too. I'll go grab one right now. It's not, I'll give you all the information, and somebody else can make it happen. Because I tried and I couldn't. Alright, this one is a small. It's Port & Company is the T-shirt brand. This is a lady's small V-neck. And they're all embroidered. Okay. Straight People Like Rainbows too. Straight People Like Rainbows too. And it's in the color of the color spectrum, because I always identified more with the color spectrum. I always thought the color spectrum was more of a proper order than the rainbow. But and then later when I got older, it's like the gays took the rainbow, and I was like, well, I'm gay, so maybe. And then it's like, no, nobody gets to take the rainbow. You don't get to take the rainbow. You don't get to take land and borders, and banks don't get to get profit billions and billions of dollars from taking people's hard-earned money that they got to take away from their families and their loved ones to go earn, because you're paying for interest. You want somebody to you just make arrangements. Don't even use banks. Fuck banks. If they're paid off, you want to sell a house, go around banks, cash in hand, circumvent all of it. Somebody's putting their freaking number up. Carl! Oh, you're giving your number to people, Carl? Good. I thought you were giving it to. Okay, good, Carl. Yeah. Yeah. Reach out. Make connections, Carl. That's exactly, Pass the message, Carl. You know the messages. Pass it. Good for you, Carl. Right on, Carl. Yeah, you and DDK. That would, see, this is how it's happening. This is what we're doing. It's happening. It's happening. Praise God, it's happening. All I want to do is connect people with other people that have been through what they've been through, because I've been through a lot, but I ain't been through what, like the men, you guys, you've been through your stuff too, and I've seen it. I've seen what it does to you guys, and I haven't been sympathetic enough to men in my life, so now I get to be soft and sympathetic to the men that they just went and just, they never were cared for and had those positive men role models. So they went to churches, and the people that took advantage, it's the people that take advantage, man. They do it on purpose. So they think that you're going to quit trying. But see, people like me, we don't quit trying to make connections and to find love. We will never stop trying. We will die. My last breath will be just, I will ask everyone around me, are you guys okay? I'm going to go now, but understand, I'm not gone forever. Energy doesn't die, and it's okay. I've been that person. Just like, I get cut, and it's okay. I'm going to fix it. like on the Holy Grail. Oh, it's just a scratch. Don't worry about me. Oh my goodness. It feels good to laugh, Feels good to laugh. There's too much laughing raised. That's why I'm gonna go out and make Mom some breakfast here in a little bit. And I caught myself trying to do old behaviors and I got to talk about the stuff, the frustrations I have with my brother here in a general way, and try to be respectful in relationships like that, because I don't know how to relate to people if they keep putting me in the past. I'm gonna keep acting like I was then. So it's like, okay, I can prove myself. I'm good at proving. I've had to do a lot of shit to get into things, to prove that I was worthy, and that I'm, initiations. I've been through a lot. Military. It was such a weird, during Warrior Week, at the end of Warrior Week, they had this weird initiation where everybody, and they played freaking Bette Midler's they give you your airman coin. You're an airman now, and I'm like, I don't know who the person was sitting next to me. I don't remember I just always remember I was in the back of the row because I'm the shortest, so I'm looking at the back of everybody's head, watching who's looking around, who's locking their legs, falling out of formation, because I'm always in the back row, watching everything in front of me, so it made me a professional spectator. They played Wind Beneath My Wings. I mean, it's all psychological. It's all, it's all to get you to, and it's all diversion to take people away from loving God. Because it ain't godly to hurt people on any level. Not even in the name of security. It's not, there's consequence to come for that. People made too much money hurting people. Psychology? Look at all the twisted freaking nut jobs in psychology. Look at all the people that freaking their brains got degauzed because some doctor said, well, they know stuff, but if we electrify their brain, they'll actually lose their personality. So let's just dumb them down by electrocuting their brain. And now they used to do it in mental hospitals and stuff, but now they're just doing it with 5G frequency and all the, jacking up all the hertz and making sure that people are in a heightened state all the time, perpetuated by fear, when the fears aren't even real. Everything is in the eye of the beholder. Fear, beauty. So when everybody, when people are pointing, you're this, you're that, I did it, I do it still, I just try not to as much, is that we got to remember when we're pointing our finger at somebody, you're this, you're that, that is 3 fingers pointed right back at you. So threefold, that's you, homie. This person's a derelict, and this person's a that, and this person's a I recognize who the pervert, I've used to watch porn, but my porn searches, it was like, romantic, sensual, lesbian love, And then like they have the search engine, the recommended. I remember on Facebook they used to have like this top search categories. I'm like, what kind of crazy nut? Those are people that are disassociated. Their psychology is blown. That they've had stuff happen to them and they didn't get all the aspects back. They didn't get all their aspects back. They're all floating around, all their goodness, all their. What did I do with that little Marge picture? I put it away. Oh, here. All this, of like, hey, you want some of my or my chips? You don't want some of my chips? Or, you want the sharing kids? Or are we still hanging out amongst the people that the kids, the bullies that fried ants with magnifying glasses and just like to torture things and watch them suffer, because they're disassociated to all those parts that say you don't hurt things, you don't harm things, you don't act in wicked ways. You're not, people aren't supposed to be promiscuous. People aren't supposed to, and they went through the whole sexual revolution. It's just like, dude, it perpetuates the darkness more, man. So who are people serving? Who are people giving their money to? Light people or dark people? Are people still funding like political parties? Don't they have enough? I mean, I know it's all a chess game and they do the same posturing every year, now they got it. Now it's yesterday it was all about old boys freaking, tax records. It's just like everybody knows you're all rich people. You guys piss away money frivolously. And all the people that are running the country are rich people. But there's a whole lot of them that are running this storyline to cause harm intentionally. At the same time, I remember Mom had a little necklace with a mustard seed. So the mustard seed, that's the second part of what I was going to talk about or mention today, is the faith of a mustard seed and how an elephant can stand on a mustard seed. Well, you go down your own ant hole about mustard seeds and stuff like that. But it's just like that there are things outside, because people just rely too much on, tangible things. And they don't believe in energy and spirits and entities, light entities. I like listening to Janine, Tarot by Janine. She and Jesse Zabora on South Africa, or Aquarius Rising South Africa, or Africa, Aquarius Rising Africa. They were sharing about their angel stories. About how you've met people, because Earth angels, man. But you know somebody, and then you turn around, they're gone. We see in dimensions and frequency, and sometimes we tune into things that other people can't see around us, and it's how it's always been. It's just the people, you can do it the same. It's like a video game. You can get the same rewards by doing nefarious things, not the same, different. You can get. It's when people are trying to make predictions and set courses and make things happen, manipulate timelines, and to create outcomes in societies of scenarios based on broken psychology, we're in trouble, and that's what will happen. So people got to get quiet, come into their heart, recognize out what the truths are for yourself, so when you go out in the world, you can call bullshit. That ain't real. That ain't true. I didn't do that. You can't pin that on, I wasn't there. And the thing of it is, it's like, you can't stay too much in the dark because, the fact is because there's shows where it was a Longmire thing, storyline where somebody did a crime and they found this blood at the scene, but what the actual reality of it was is somebody had stolen blood that was donated from a blood bank and then put it on the scene. So, and I'm like, oh, shoot. I donated a lot of blood, but, I've donated a lot of blood in my life. And then, what I stopped is when I worked with a guy that worked at the American Red Cross, and this was like 5 years ago, and he told me the dastardly, nasty stuff about what plasma and blood, it's human freaking harvesting human stuff for money. And the people that are harvesting, they never get to profit. It's only the people doing the harvesting. Help never goes to the people, folks. Crack society, you're only getting wider. You gotta find a source bigger than yourself to believe in you. Outside, find your God. And in the thing of it, what people are recognizing more and more is just like, oh, there's a lot of gods, and oh, there's a lot of these people that are worshiping different gods. I don't even like saying the guy's name. He's pinned to a wall right now with some biblical posts. But there's the people that worship Moloch. That guy's a nasty, evil dude, man. And it's like I know him and I never even met him. Because our spirits know. Our spirits know. Our spirits know what evil, and it remembers, because bad stuff happens in your life, and you're like, when I was when I was sexually assaulted, raped when I was 10 months old, I don't remember the occasion and the event and things like that. No, I don't. But my body remembers the vibration of this ain't right, and that this is the kind of person, and that this is, and that recognizes evil of a person that would do that. And then so whenever I've been in life around people that have made me feel that way, it's like my own security system. Danger, there's somebody bad around that felt like this. And I've had all these measures in my whole life because I've had bullies, danger, danger. So now I'm 46, and now I'm just like, everybody's danger, 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 But my detriment was putting myself in a self-reliant hole where I told myself, I don't need nobody. I don't need any. And that is, God works through people. So me shutting my back and turning my back on and becoming a recluse, that's letting ego win. Because I get my feelings hurt and my pride gets in the way. And they don't want me around anyway. And all that self-deprecating negative talk that I'm just repeating that other people have said to me, but I've worked so hard to let myself, to reprogram myself, and that ain't not true, Marge. You're the best person you know, and you just love your mom and your family, and you just want to make a friend here and there, and want to help some people heal along the way, and you put a lot of effort in doing that, and Marge, you can't be all bad if you do stuff like that. But I still have darkness in me. That's why I gotta keep the light to outblast the dark. So if anybody wants to buy my T-shirt idea and see if you can get a go at it, email me. That's my Gmail address too. Straightpeople at straightpeoplelikeRainbows2@gmail.com. Yeah. So if you're feeling, in any kind of way, I'm always up for the distraction. I know how I feel, so that's why I reach out to so many people to see how they're doing, because I want to know about them and how things are where they are, because when I think about them and what other people are, my troubles aren't so much. My troubles aren't so much. And I prayed don't drink a Kool-Aid for your homie this morning that has this court appearance this afternoon. See, that's the shit. This is the shit, man. We're just trying to take care of our mom. This guy, he got a suspended license. And then he got a ticket for driving on a suspended license because he was going to get some medicine for his mom. See? And it's like you can't, it's like you can help people or hinder people. You know what I mean? I understand we all got free choice, stuff like that. Sometimes people are in a bind and his mom just got out of the hospital and they're in Kentucky, I just think about, you get 3 other people in that same situation and put them all in one house, and everybody can help everybody. But then you got the seedy. You got the people that like to take advantage. And then but the thing is energy, you got to have a better vetting system, and people have come more into, they'll do anything for money. And I don't even want to deal with people that are just all about money, because that's what got us. That's why the egos are falling. That's why Hollywood's falling apart. All these attention deficit disorders right now. People aren't looking at them. They aren't getting the exposure. They aren't getting all the attention. They have to do stuff for themselves, and they don't like it. And they're finding that all the money that they have in the world isn't going to make them popular, And people know when you're faking, so you can start acting like you care about people all of a sudden, but it's exhausting to you can't act like you care about people all the time. I could imagine it would be exhausting, because living in a way of service, I'm tired a lot, but I still have the energy to do it. See, so people can't fake things for, they can only show you who they really are for extended periods of time. They can't just act real good and then, until you don't do something, then they act how, they digress. If you want to see how people are going to treat people, put them in positions where they're dealing with people that can't do anything for them and see how they treat them. See, that's how I've always known, and I know a lot of these freaking, these guys that I've talked about that have been all these men, they made it, man, freaking IT. They made it for men by not hiring women, military, it wasn't for freaking women for a long time because the men didn't want the women, but now it's like, okay, well, we can profit more, so it's like we're allowed to do what we want based on, who's going to profit from it, and there's no spirit in that. That is straight up perpetuating the Lucy fairy tale, the Lucy fairy tale. And people are figuring it out, and they're all like, oh God, Disney, oh God, thank God. I mean, is Playboy still around? Are they still doing that? Because when I was a little girl, that was like, because Hugh Hefner and I had the same birthday, and then I realized, oh my God, he's a dirty, scuzzy pig, But I thought it was really cool because he always had pretty girls around, and white rabbits and tunnels. Tunnels under his house, and then it's like you grow up and it's like you look at that with adult eyes, and you're like, whoa. But see, I looked at a lot of adult stuff with adult eyes as a child, because I had a lot of adult stuff happen around me, and it's nothing that I didn't ask for it. I wasn't no 10-month-old baby asked for it, like Mel Gibson said, you asked for it. It's whatever, dude. People are sick and twisted, and they get it sick and twisted. And I got a mom who taught me how to fish, and then taught me how to be self-sufficient. And then I had to come back into my spirit to teach myself that I need people, and I can't live life alone. And I need people, and I need community, and I thrive with people and community. And, I need my private time, and I get salty and stuff like that, need to be alone, and always the most pleasant to be around. But, I try not to take my crap out on other people. The one thing I've learned is that it doesn't matter how bad I hurt and how bad I feel, is that I don't get to go around and treat other people badly because I'm hurting. And a lot of people do that. And it makes them feel better, and it's weird, but that ain't my vibe. So it's about all I got for now. Black Betty's blasting my ear right now. I'm going to go make Mom breakfast. I hope you have a rad day. Peace.